Hello! Welcome to Aviva Studios. Today I'm going to talk about all the musicals, not the ones I've heard of, just the ones that I've finished. Which really isn't that much. Like, I haven't listened to Hadestown. I've listened to like one or two songs, so like, I'm not reviewing that. Yep, so let's just get right into it. I currently use an app called AOTY, which stands for Album of the Year. I made over 300 reviews, and I wrote this description. The first musical I'm going to talk about is Hairspray, and there's 3 different versions of this. The film adaptation is the best one. It came out in 2007, and it's the first film adaptation of Hairspray. John Travolta sings beautifully as Woman. One of my favorite songs is Timeless to Me, and he does it great. This is the only musical I've ever heard where every single song was a banger. Right, from the opening to, oh my god, how times have changed, to the finale, man. It's amazing how every single song is great. Like, they're not equally great, but they're great. Then there's the 2002 Broadway cast version. It's not as good as the movie. Like, for instance, in the opening song, Tracy Turnblad is like, instead of, oh, like in a fun way. Like, it just sounds like she's doing a strange cough. And also, Tracy's mother sounds like she swallowed a wrench. Yeah, it's not as good as the movie, in my opinion. The song, Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now, is actually a part of the story. But this version is not as good as the other version. This one, original television cast, it has a much better Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now. Overall, fun musical with a simple story, as they normally do. Moving on. Now, let's talk about Heathers. This is the musical version of a film that came out in 1988. This musical took off in the 2010s. And it's awesome. It humanizes JD without excusing his actions. It gives Martha an interesting arc. The conclusion to the musical is very satisfying. I really like 17 and Dead Girl Walking Reprise. Also, the cover for this is really nice. There's a British version of this musical, and it sucks. The singing isn't as good, like Meant to Be Yours just isn't as powerful as the original. And they also change a song, right? So they get rid of Blue, and they replace it with something worse. That turns the 2 jocks into rapists, and actually ruins the story. There's a video that talks about this. Because they make them rapists, but then they still keep that line about how they could have changed. But you can't, because once you rape someone, you don't stop being a rapist. It was a good video. If I can find it, I'll link it in the description. It was this really detailed review of the musical and how great it is. And now, let's talk about Little Shop of Horrors. This time I'm going to be a bit lazier. I'm only going to be talking about this off-Broadway cast version because honestly, it is so much better than the original. It was the only one I felt like writing about. Like, the original voices just don't pack the same punch. You Never Know and Suddenly Seymour are great songs. This is a very simple but dark story about the horrors of capitalism, I think. Like, feeding the machine until it destroys everything. The original ending is much better than the hokey, fun, lighthearted Disney ending, in my opinion, because this is a story about a guy who kills people, right? Like, he kills someone. So it's like, you don't get the happily ever after when you kill someone, right? So it makes more sense to have that dark ending where everything goes wrong. So yeah, this is very fun. Fun songs, simple characters. It's a very interesting way to frame capitalist greed.
You better believe there's a Death Note musical, and it's excellent.
Honestly, I should have expected that, since Death Note mostly consists of characters thinking about things, contemplating things to themselves, right? And what is a musical? Characters contemplating things to themselves, most of the time, right? That's what an I Want song is. And Light Yagami gets an I Want song. I think that's what it is. It's called Where is the Justice? Right? And it's very good. The Shinigami also sing. There's a song called They're Only Human, and it's really good. It's a nice opening. It's a nice introduction for them. And there's also a song from Rem about how she loves Misa Misa. There's a song from There's a song for Light's father that has amazing lyrics. Timelines and coincidences can't replace hard facts. But if what I'm seeing bends as light refracts, am I blinded to what my sun lacks? Which is a conscience. And in true Death Note fashion, there's a song that I am presuming happens in L and Light's heads. They're talking about how, they're in a battle, right? The song is called Stalemate. One of the best. Great musical, great songs, great writing. Definitely check it out. Available on YouTube. All or nothing. Let's get to it. Beetlejuice. This is actually better than the movie. You care more about everything in this. Dead Mom is a really great song. There's also a really nice song for the Maitlands who die called Barbara 2.0, where they talk about how boring they were. And it's so fun, and I care a lot about it. They even give some sympathy to Beetlejuice himself, which I don't think he had in the movie. The big numbers are Say My Name and That Beautiful Sound. That Beautiful Sound sounds more like the showstopper, right, where like all this fun stuff happens on stage. Say My Name is like a huge character moment though, where like Beetlejuice pops out and says, "You need to say my name." It's what the show is for. I wouldn't be surprised if someone wrote that song and was like, "Yes, I need to make a whole musical now." They still have the Banana Boat song from the movie, which is great. It's so fun in this. Yeah, so fun musical, great work. Before I get to the big thing at the end, I would like to talk briefly about some films. The Prince of Egypt is an absolutely stunning movie that deserved to get more money. And if it had gotten more money, we would have gotten more 2D animated films that have more effort put into them. One of the reasons why newer CGI films don't have a lot of effort put into them is because they don't have to. They don't need to tighten their script before they start animating. Because animating is easy when you're doing CG, right? So what they do is they write a script, and the script kind of sucks. But they don't care. They jump straight to the animation, and then they tweak the animation around here and here when they decide that they want to change the script. So it's like they're working with a script that is barely ironed out, and then they start, and then they jump to the animation. And that's why we're having films that aren't that great. Like, Elio could have been a great movie if they cared about this script. Right, and one of the reasons you have to care about the script when you're working on a 2D animated film is because animation is hard, right? But CG animation is easy. My favorite songs are When You Believe and Playing with the Big Boys Now. Everyone should watch this movie. Charlotte's Web is a very cute film, with only one problem. It's the scene where Wilbur tells Charlotte what's so radiant about him, right, in regards to a human boy that Fern is hanging out with, right? And it's like, that line isn't humble, right? So, if you get rid of that one line, the movie is perfect. My favorite songs are Deep in the Dark, and Mother Earth, and Father Time. The Princess and the Pauper is actually really good as a musical. The opening number 3 is great. Like, it's pretty brilliant. It quickly establishes their characters. the things they're longing for, the things they want. Girl Like You gives us a friendship. And there's also a really cute song in the middle called The Cat's Meow. You know, one of those silly little songs that happen in musicals sometimes that doesn't have to do much with the plot, but characterizes someone. I love this moment when this guy is explaining to, I forgot her name, when he's explaining to the pupa, who is pretending to be the princess, you must be charming yet attached and yet amused, and then finishes by saying, to be a princess is to never be confused, which is great. Right, like, it's sort of subtle comedy. The plot of this movie is honestly not that great. I don't really care for the plot, but I love listening to the soundtrack. Martin Short kills it on his villain song. And now for the last film, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is one of the best Disney movies ever made. Forget Frozen, forget Lion King. This is it. This is the one. It has a much better intro than Lion King. Right, like Lion King's intro is like alright. Like, it's mostly held up by the visuals. This one is more than visuals. Like, the lyrics are just better than Lion King. Every song is good. Even Guy Like You. Guy Like You is like the worst song in the musical, but it's still okay. Like, I like that one. Heaven's Light and Hellfire are big showstoppers. Right, I wonder what that looks like on a stage. On Broadway. I would love to see Hellfire on stage. That'd be amazing. God Help the Outcasts is lovely. And Topsy Turvy is just a cute little song that I come back to often. I also listen to some of the songs in different languages, which is just as cool. Like French and Italian. And finally, the last musical I'm going to talk about, Hamilton. This is pretty cool. It's not the best thing. I can't say it's the best, because it's like, there are so many songs in it that are duds. I like the song The Skylar Sisters, where they show up. I like Story of Tonight. I like Wait for It. Right, there's like parts of it that I'm into, but there's also lots of songs that are duds. But like, I think I mostly give it a 74 out of 100 because it has a decent story. Right, like the story is told well. But like, I feel like it might just deserve 50 out of 100 because there's a lot of duds here. Right, but there's really great parts. Like Wait for It. Which I think actually made me cry the first time I heard it. Lin-Manuel Miranda has the worst voice in the entire cast. I can stand it, but it's like the worst voice. Right, and there's a clear difference where it's like, it's sort of jarring to go from his voice to Aaron Burr, who is like angelic. And the Skylar Sisters, who are much better. So it's like, I like the Skylar Sisters song where they come in and say, I'm looking for a mind at work. Some of the songs are leaving my mind, honestly. But yeah, this is mostly good, I guess. And the story is told well. Like the part where Aaron Burr shoots Hamilton is perfectly dramatic and well paced. I would have loved to see this on stage, but even if I had the money, I don't think I was in the right place. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you go check out these musicals. Have a nice day.